on this story. The political crisis, obviously, in Pakistan is aggravating. As you can see with what all is unfolding right in front of your eyes, a 3-member bench of the Supreme Court will continue to hear the suo motu notice, as Cover was also mentioning. This is happening at 1:30 p.m. today. While hearing the matter yesterday, Pakistan's Chief Justice Umar Ata Bandial said that all orders and actions initiated by Prime Minister Imran Khan and President Arif Alvi are subject to the orders of Supreme Court. The court has ordered all the parties, including the opposition, to avoid taking any unconstitutional measures until the bench delivers a verdict on this plea. The 2 petitions have been filed against the dissolution of National Assembly. One has been filed by the opposition. The other has been filed by the Pakistan Supreme Court Bar Association. The second petition says that the Speaker's move is illegal as the resolution to hold the trust vote was already taken on 28th of March. Meanwhile, Imran Khan has also been denotified as the Prime Minister of Pakistan. He will continue to hold office until the appointment of a caretaker Prime Minister as per the provisions of the law.
पाकिस्तान की तारीख में ये स्याह तरीन दिन गिना जाएगा कि जिस तरीके से आइन शिकनी की गई है और जिस तरीके से इस ऐवान की रवायात को पामाल किया गया है, ये तारीख की औरात में हमेशा स्याह दिन के तौर पर याद रखा जाएगा।
स्पीकर की रूलिंग आ गई है जिसको मैं क्वेश्चन नहीं कर सकता। आप करना चाहें तो जरूर कर ले, मैं नहीं कर सकता।
कमीशन भी तो नहीं बना जो जिस पे रूलिंग दी, जिस आर्टिकल पे रूलिंग दी उस पे कोई कमीशन बना, कोई फाइंडिंग्स आई? कहना है प्लीज,
रूलिंग आ गई है, उस रूलिंग को मैं चैलेंज नहीं कर सकता। जिसने करना है वो कर ले।
जुमा 25 मार्च 2022 को तलब करदा इजलास इसके काम के इख्तिताम पर बाज़रिया हाज़िर बर्खास्त करता हूँ।
Dramatic twist in Pakistan's political power game. Chaos breaks out after Imran Khan's bouncer. Pakistan Prime Minister losing numbers, staring at certain defeat and ouster from power, decided to cling on to power via back door. Imran dramatically called for dissolution of parliament and fresh polls. Moments after the speaker dropped a bombshell and rejected the no trust motion.
25 मार्च 2022 को तलब करदा इजलास इसके काम के इख्तिताम पर बाज़रिया हाज़िर बर्खास्त करता हूँ।
Imran Khan called for fresh elections after no confidence motion against him was rejected in the National Assembly.
अल्लाह इस कौम के ऊपर देख रहा है। 27 रमज़ान को ये पाकिस्तान वजूद में आया था। ये इस तरह की साजिश इंशाअल्लाह ये कौम कामयाब नहीं होने देगी। मैं आज अपनी सारी कौम को मुबारक देना चाहता हूँ कि नेशनल असेंबली के हमारे स्पीकर ने मुस्तरद किया, रिजेक्ट किया एक वो मूव, रिजीम चेंज की जो कोशिश की गई थी पाकिस्तान के 22 करोड़ अवाम में, एक बाहर से प्लान किया हुआ नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन जिसके पीछे एक फॉरेन एजेंडा था, और जो आज स्पीकर ने उसको जो रिजेक्ट किया है और ये नो कॉन्फिडेंस को जो रिजेक्ट किया, मैं सारी कौम को आज मुबारक देता हूँ। तो जो स्पीकर ने आज जो अपनी अथॉरिटी, अपनी जो पावर, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पावर यूज़ करके जो फैसला किया है, अब इसके बाद मैंने अभी से प्रेसिडेंट साहब को वो भेज दिया है, एडवाइस भेज दी है कि असेंबलियां डिसॉल्व करें। एक डेमोक्रेटिक सोसाइटी में हम डेमोक्रेट्स अवाम के पास जाएं, अवाम से इलेक्शंस हो, अवाम फैसला करे कि वो किसको चाहती है।
Before Imran-backed Deputy Speaker Qasim Suri nullified the motion and termed it against the Constitution.
We're at the Parliament right now, and the opposition is holding its own session after the Deputy Speaker adjourned the session till an indefinite period and rejected the no trust motion against Prime Minister Imran Khan. The opposition held voting on the no trust motion during this session of its own, and the no trust motion has passed with 195 members voting in favor of it. This is, of course, not official because this is just an informal session of the opposition, and we are waiting to hear from them about the future strategy that they're going to adopt.
The Prime Minister's close aide and INB Minister Fawad Chaudhry cried foul play and claimed foreign conspiracy to topple the government.
7 मार्च को यह बताया जाता है अदम एतमाद उस वक्त तक पाकिस्तान में नहीं आती, 8 मार्च को आती है। इस वक्त तक पाकिस्तान में भी किसी को नहीं पता अदम एतमाद है। हमारे स्पीकर साहब को बताया जाता है कि पाकिस्तान से आपके हमारे ताल्लुकात का दारोमदार इस अदम एतमाद की कामयाबी पर है। एक इफेक्टिव ऑपरेशन है जनाब स्पीकर regime change का by a foreign government.
Khan sent a proposal to President Arif Alvi to dissolve the assembly, essentially making way for early elections to be held in Pakistan. The president soon obliged. After the unexpected move in the National Assembly, opposition staged protest inside the House, conducted its own session, staying adamant on ousting Imran. A jubilant PTI tweeted images of a smug Imran Khan in all smiles after the trust vote stunner. Imran has decided to stay on as the Prime Minister in a caretaker role before polls. The opposition says it is just a facade to destroy democracy and stay on in power despite lacking numbers. Who will have the last laugh in the Pakistan political quagmire? With Alia Zehra in Islamabad, Bureau Report, India Today.
Kanwar Naeem, Pakistan journalist, is now joining us live from Islamabad. Kanwar, you already told our viewers about what you're picking up from the legal eagles as far as the constitutional validity is concerned and the fact that we have to wait for the Supreme Court to go ahead and start hearing the matter at 1:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. But now, at the moment, what is going on as far as the political turmoil in Pakistan is concerned, whether the kind of reactions you're getting from the opposition, obviously, the ruling party as well, what are you picking up?
As of now, there is a complete silence from both the sides, the opposition and the government. It is likely because both the parties are waiting for the Supreme Court's decision. Before when the case is in Supreme Court, the speculations and the false claims cannot be made from either side, not from the journalists as well, because Supreme Court is the final authority, and if any party, opposition or government, tries to malign the status or the transparency of the Supreme Court, they can be dealt under the contempt of court. So maybe they are very careful right now, unless Supreme Court decides whatever it considers the best. This is why there is a complete silence right now in the political arena of Pakistan. But let's see what happens after the decision comes out.
We'll have to wait for 1:30 p.m. IST when the Supreme Court starts hearing this particular petition as well. Kanwar, for now, thanks for joining us with those details. You do know and you're aware that the parliament is dissolved. Imran loses the Prime Minister's post. Imran Khan, to hold office till caretaker Prime Minister has been named. The caretaker Prime Minister appointment is going to happen within 15 days' time. There's no clarity at the moment on the appointment of the caretaker Prime Minister. The Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition name the caretaker Prime Minister. The parliament is dissolved. The Prime Minister and leader of opposition lose positions, and this uncertainty may add to further chaos in Pakistan. The Pakistan Army came out with a neutral stance, calling Imran's stunner a political development. Pakistan Army Chief Qamar Bajwa has rejected Imran's attack on the United States, calling Washington, D.C. one of the most reliable partners of Pakistan. Take a look at this report.
एक बाहर से प्लान किया हुआ नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन जिसके पीछे एक फॉरेन एजेंडा था.
It has become the single biggest refrain for Imran Khan to cling on to his chair. An imaginary bogey which has given Imran the proverbial fig leaf. The bogey of a powerful foreign hand, out to topple him.
Because it's ridiculous.
Because of his solidarity trip to Russia. Imran has made it known to the world that he is referring to the United States.
Naming US Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asian Affairs Donald Lu as the person who warned Pakistan envoy to US and was instrumental in no confidence motion against his government.
Imran Khan has used this plank to trash the opposition, which clearly aced the number game.
मैं आज अपनी सारी कौम को मुबारक देना चाहता हूँ कि नेशनल असेंबली के हमारे स्पीकर ने मुस्तरद किया, रिजेक्ट किया एक वो मूव रिजीम चेंज की जो कोशिश की गई थी पाकिस्तान के 22 करोड़ अवाम में, एक बाहर से प्लान किया हुआ नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन जिसके पीछे एक फॉरेन एजेंडा था, और जो आज स्पीकर ने उसको जो रिजेक्ट किया है और ये नो कॉन्फिडेंस को जो रिजेक्ट किया, मैं सारी कौम को आज मुबारक देता हूँ.
But Pakistan Army Chief Qamar Bajwa has rejected Imran's attack on the US, calling Washington one of the most reliable partners of Pakistan.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Equally, we share a long history of excellent and strategic relationship with the United States, which remains our largest export market. We seek to broaden and expand our ties with both countries without impacting our relations with the other.
We are neutral. Pakistan Army has absolutely nothing to do with what happened in the National Assembly.
Despite professional neutrality, the Pakistan Army remains the single biggest factor calling the shots in Islamabad. It ruled the coup-prone country for more than half of its 73+ years of existence. Imran maintains the army gave him 3 options to resolve the political crisis: his resignation, facing no confidence, or calling early elections.
उन्होंने ऑप्शंस दिए थे मुझे, और वो ऑब्वियसली हमारी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट है, उन्होंने ऑफर दी कि जी 3 चीज़ें हैं, या आप अदम एतमाद का वोट चले जाएं, या आप इस्तीफ़ा दे दें, और या इलेक्शन. हमने कहा इलेक्शन सबसे बेहतर तरीका है, इस्तीफ़ा मैं कभी सोच भी नहीं सकता, और अदम एतमाद वोट का मतलब ये कि मैं तो बिलीव करता हूँ कि आखिरी मिनट तक लड़ूंगा.
Imran has been on an overdrive meeting the Pakistan Army generals recently. Is he playing by the Pakistan military rulebook? Bureau Report, India Today.
The move to dissolve National Assembly might have saved Imran Khan's government momentarily, but has further damaged the already fractured democratic system in Pakistan. Here's more.
Solidly held there. Oh, that's a big shot. Oh, he's bowled him.
One of Pakistan's greatest all-rounders of all time. A bowler par excellence who was considered unplayable when ball tampering was legal in the 80s.
And the first wicket down, Imran Khan, the great Pakistan all-rounder.
30 years after he retired from the cricket pitch, Imran Khan Niazi has demonstrated that his talents for tampering to swing things in his favour have lost none of their potency. He may be beaming now, exuding the delight of one who has pulled the rug from under Shehbaz Sharif and Bilawal Bhutto, who led an opposition army to cast Imran unceremoniously out of office. But Imran has landed his country in a constitutional crisis. For one thing, Imran Khan appears to have made a move that flies against the mood in the all-powerful Pakistan army. Averting his ouster just a day after Pakistan's army chief obliquely criticized Imran's foreign hand conspiracy theories.
वो ये कहते हैं कि हमें, और एक बहाना मारते हैं कि हमें क्यों गुस्सा पाकिस्तान पे, लेकिन कहते हैं कि वो गुस्सा तब बिल्कुल ठीक हो जाएगा, हम माफ कर देंगे पाकिस्तान को। अगर इमरान खान ये अदम एतमाद की ये हार जाता है, यानी अगर इमरान खान चला जाता है तो पाकिस्तान को माफ कर देते हैं।
We share a long history of excellent and strategic relationship with the United States, which remains our largest export market. We seek to broaden and expand our ties with both countries without impacting our relations with the other.
Article 5 जो है उसकी clause 1 तो पड़ी।
By blocking a constitutionally moved no trust vote against him, Imran has also confirmed to the Pakistani people that the numbers were indeed stacked against him and therefore severely damaged the democratic process at a time when Pakistan is battling to repair an irreparable international reputation. The opposition may be pushing things when it cites a looming civil war, but as caretaker Prime Minister on the back foot, Imran Khan still faces unrest and opposition even from his own party and government. A possible revolt within was triggered shortly after the National Assembly drama, with Imran's Attorney General and Deputy, the two top Pakistani legal officers, resigning.
आर्टिकल 6 लगेगा। आर्टिकल 6 किस स्पीकर के ऊपर भी और इमरान खान के ऊपर।
Imran Khan famously lost his cap and nerve facing a bouncer playing for Sussex in 1981, a sporting assault that galvanized him to bounce back and demolish the rival Middlesex team on the final day of that famous county test.
That has gone miles. It is a huge six.
41 years later, it's Imran who has delivered the bouncer. And it remains to be seen if Pakistan can put him in his place. Bureau Report, India Today.
What do all these developments in Pakistan really mean for India? Number one, Pakistan volatility is usually bad news for India. Then Imran recently praised India, now seen as democracy fixer. Pakistan conspiracy theories of Indian hand fomenting trouble could find traction now. This also gives Pakistan army more leverage as the guarantor of Pakistan government, creates uncertainty in terms of who's calling the shots in Pakistan. Political turmoil allows Pakistan hardliners to conduct work even less hindered. Imran Khan was famous as a playboy. The cricketer Imran Khan was popular for his brilliant strokes and outstanding bowling, and he was equally famous for his string of girlfriends. But all that changed as soon as he declared his marriage to Jemima Goldsmith. Since 1995, with the rise of Imran Khan, the politician there, was also a new character created. Imran, the much married man, thrice so far. Take a look.
Field there for LBW's gone. Imran Khan, the great Pakistan all-rounder.
There was a time long ago when Imran used to be a very fine bowler, both on the pitch and off it as well. Even later in life, when Imran Khan, the cricketer, was becoming Imran, the politician, his off-the-pitch bowling record shifted from easy catches to being caught out well short of the boundary, and multiple times too. The first time that Imran was declared caught, it was 1995, and politics was possibly just a gleam in Imran's eyes. But the gleam that caught his eyes was that of a daughter of the British financier James Goldsmith. Once upon a time socialite, Jemima converted to Islam at the time of their marriage. Together, they had 2 sons and portrayed the picture of a happy family. Jemima was the cornerstone during Imran Khan's first foray into election campaigning in 1997. But 9 years of the Imran-Jemima marriage ended in divorce in 2004. They remained friends, and when Imran was arrested and politically persecuted in 2007, Jemima rallied behind her former husband from Britain. When Imran Khan was accused of money laundering, it was Jemima Khan who tweeted to prove his innocence and provided evidence in his favor during the legal battle. For about a decade after his first innings, Imran Khan sat out at the pavilion for bachelor politicians. And then he padded up to bat again. In 2015, the now 63-year-old Imran Khan got married for a second time. A whirlwind romance with a British journalist of Pakistani origin had Imran Khan's popularity rising more than what his political moves could. In Pakistan, everyone spoke about how the handsome Pathan was a charmer and how, in both his marriages, he had swept much younger British women off their feet. Jemima Goldsmith had been half his age at the time of their marriage, and Reham Khan was 2 decades younger. But it was there that the similarities ended. In his shortest marriage innings ever, Imran saw Reham Khan stomp off the field a mere 9 months later. But this time the How's That call was acrimonious, and Reham Khan's bitter memoir 3 years later hurt politician Imran Khan's homegrown popularity. But marriage, unlike cricket, need not end in just 2 innings. However badly mauled Imran got in the second one, he took guard once again in 2018. 6 months before he was to become Prime Minister, Imran Khan married for a 3rd time. In a low-key ceremony in Lahore, he teamed up with the one who the local media dubbed a faith healer. Bushra Wattu was the stark opposite to both Jemima and Reham Khan. The bride was flanked by her mother, brother, and children. She was covered from head to toe in a burqa. And it seemed that once again Imran Khan was changing the makeup of his team to suit the requirements of the pitch he was bowling on. As the flamboyant ex-cricketer raising money to build his cancer hospital, Jemima had been a big help. As the flashing Pathan tackling the big bad boys of politics, Rehan had fit the picture. But as Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Imran Khan needed Bushra Wattu's silent presence managing the family herd.